It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Monday show, April 22nd, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the 64,000 subscribers on this community now, thank you so much for subscribing to Woodward Sports. Hit the like button as well. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
It is indeed a good afternoon. We're here, man. We're here. This is draft week. We've been talking about this ad nauseam since 2021. And I think as I'm here now, Maz, I'm excited that the Detroit Lions deserve to have the draft here in Detroit. It's not like one of these things where they just gave it away, or it's like some type of like charity to the city of Detroit. Oh, here you go, you guys, and we'll give you the draft. Like, no, you saw things change. I think the NFL saw that slowly but surely. Announced it in 2021. You get Hard Knocks 2022, the end of the 2022 season, after kind of introducing the Lions to the country. You go 9-8. You almost make the playoffs. Now you got people that aren't even from here lobbying that, the Lions got cheated in 2022. You return to 2023 with all that momentum, and you get to the NFC Championships. You win your division like Ryan Ermanni said.
Hey,
3 years ago. Maz was quick to follow Maz was quick to follow Ryan's tune to that. But now we're here. Now we're here, and the Lions are a powerhouse in the NFL. They've made moves in the offseason, and we think they'll sustain what they're doing. Like, I know I'm picking for the Jets, but damn it, I'm excited for the Lions, man. And I apologize, Ryan, but I'm a little excited, Maz.
I don't blame you guys. Hey, good to see you guys.
Great to see you, Tom.
Great day yesterday. Great weekend I had. And I got downtown yesterday with my wife and my daughter, Maddie. It was her
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Maddie.
Maddie had a great birthday. And we walked around downtown. We got lost, like you and me got lost on Friday. We got lost because the fences are still up, so you can't walk anywhere you want. You got to be – it's like a maze.
Yeah.
You're like a rat in a maze. But we found our way, and we got into the NFL experience, and the shop is open. And my wallet is still burning from being in that shop. There's all new gear, guys. Every team is represented. The Lions, very represented. All the Detroit draft stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff. I'll wear it the rest of the week. I'm hoping that it gets a little warmer. Got T-shirt, got hat.
Going to be 70 this weekend.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
God is shining down on the Lions finally after all these years. And I'm here for it. I'm so excited for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
When it was announced that the draft was going to be here, what was one of the first things that people said?
Not enough hotels?
No. Please be good weather.
Yes.
Sure.
Please be good weather. Don't rain, don't snow, don't be freezing, 20 degrees. It's going to be like 58 and sunny on Thursday. It's going to be like 60 on Friday. It's going to be 72 degrees on Saturday. You can't ask for better weather. Maybe some rain on Saturday, potentially. But after the rain on Tuesday, tomorrow, it's out of here for some time. And I think if you're coming downtown, if you are planning on going downtown, and we were all down there on Friday, and Maz, you were down there again this week.
Yep.
First of all, I don't know how they're going to be ready.
It's still going.
Right?
Yeah.
How they're going to be ready by Thursday. But nonetheless, the energy down there is pretty awesome.
I think the thing that I'm excited to see in the city of Detroit is we went down there Friday. Shout out to Shake Shack. Took care of us, did a heck of a job. Sandwich was amazing as always, and so was the customer
That's
service.
the epicenter.
Shake
Shack is the epicenter of the
it's
draft.
right in the
No
heart
doubt.
of everything. You got 2 entry points. It's a great. So we kind of got that energy, but I was also excited to see, Ryan, like, how are the city going to be? How are the cops going to be? How are the cross guards going to be? How is the energy and the service entertainment? Because when you have things like this, when people come to your city, they want to see how the officers are. How is the service? Now, how are the service industry? Are people polite? Do they give directions easy and make it easier for the people out of town? And I think you started to see that Friday. Like, people were excited that this is in their city, from the cross guard walks to the service entertainment. They're excited that we have something like this, and you call it. Outside of the Super Bowl, this is probably the second biggest event that you can have in your city. We have it here in Detroit, and right now we are on fire. Ryan, if I will, though,
please.
We got a little video from last Friday. We got a little video from last Friday. A lot of fun. Put it up there, Pete.
This is the Braylon Edwards.
Chill out with that.
number 3 overall pick by the Cleveland Browns in 2005.
Where'd you shoot from here?
Right there. He was a receiver, though, not a quarterback. Oh, man. Oh, that was I gave you the blueprint, Bray.
I don't throw like that.
Oh!
That's Braylon and Maz.
This how you do it.
Your mom had a
Appreciate
Look
you.
at you, man.
But you know how to incentivize me. All you had to do was say, well, he wasn't a quarterback. Instantly, the competition level comes out and make it on the second try. But that's the type of fun things you can expect to see downtown Detroit this weekend. A lot of it, like you said, is free. You'll be able to have access to it as long as you go on those apps. It's heating up, and it's a buzz. You see the Hudson Tower building is near completion. They put their last beam on the, now they have to
Getting there for sure.
Now they got to do is the windows and the glass. So Detroit, man, here we are.
That's
Hey,
right.
man. Hey, Super Chat fan Greg.
Super chat, Greg.
Alspaw, $20 he's donating because he loves you guys. And he likes me as well.
We
I
appreciate
Greg,
you,
thank
Greg.
you.
Braylon and Maz, too.
I want
Love
to tell
you,
you,
Greg.
There's hundreds of people down there working already.
Yeah.
Like you said, they are everywhere. They're directing you. There are traffic
Terry
police down
Foster's
there.
a volunteer.
My daughter Lily is down there. She's
Get
going to be down
access,
there all
really.
weekend as well. Yep. They got people everywhere. It's like when the Super Bowl was here. I don't know if anyone was around for Super Bowl 40, but they did a great job then, and now we get the beautiful weather, and it's going to be real fun, guys. Real fun.
Man, you hit the nail on the head, and Ryan, you started. You said, what's the first thing you think about? When the Super Bowl was here, same thing. You're like, please don't snow, please don't snow, please don't snow. It was relatively warm from Detroit, if I remember correctly, and didn't snow.
Yeah.
And the service was well, so that's what you're hoping to see. But it's so important for the city to show up and show out. How many times have you gone to a place, Ryan or Maz, and you go, and the service or the hospitality or it was great. It made you want to come back. Every time I go to the Big Ten Championship, Indianapolis knows how to put on events. They do an amazing job in the hotels, the restaurants, etc. Even the Lucas Oil Center, they do an amazing job. You're like, you know what? I could go to something here. I can go to a playoff event here or a game or so. I think that's what Detroit is under the gun right now. But we always seem to make it right.
My little 17-year-old daughter yesterday was in her glory. And on the way home, she's like, Dad, I just love Detroit.
Yep.
My friends, we all go down there. They love going to Bakersfield, the Mexican place
you
there
love
on
that
Woodward.
place.
I don't, but they do. I'm not a Mexican food
I
guy.
know, I was being-
But they absolutely.
We were
They
driving
love
by
it.
Bakersfield on Friday, and he's like, "Oh, I hate that place." He's like, "My daughter loves it."
I don't hate the place. It's beautiful.
Right, beautiful
Right.
place.
And we had Lily's
You don't like Mexican food.
We had Lily's 21st
talking about
birthday there,
Woodward?
and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
In
on
Midtown?
Woodward.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
up just past Little Caesars Arena,
yeah,
a few
exactly.
blocks up past there.
Guess
Great
who did
area.
There? It's right next to Ghost.
Exactly.
Guess who did their birthday there? One Max.
Oh, Mr. Max.
Oh,
I haven't
man.
seen Mr.
Yeah,
Max
We
in a
did his
while.
birthday party. Yeah. So yeah, the food is like you said, it's but the atmosphere, I guess, is what you're
Detroit
paying
is
for.
amazing right
No
now.
doubt. Braylon, you were talking about people that are going to come from out of town, and again, 6 NFL cities within a 4-hour drive of
Yeah.
Detroit. This place is going to be packed, and so many people will be here for the first time experiencing the city. And look, when the NFL comes through your city, even if you go downtown all the time,
Yeah.
I'm a guy, I go downtown all the time. It looks completely different. It's a different experience than the one that you and I get each and every day.
Yeah.
All the storefronts are filled. Pop-up stores, everything. Signage all over the place.
Yeah.
Hell, the utility boxes are painted
Yeah.
with Detroit sports greats of all time. Saw Bill Lambier,
Yeah.
I saw Hank Greenberg.
Every flag of a team is up.
Everything is down.
Everything is
It's
up.
a much different experience than anything that you have experienced so far. But I think what I'm trying to say is Detroit has a reputation. It will always probably have a reputation.
Yep.
I'm a big believer in going to experience something for yourself. Don't take somebody's word for it. Whether that's a city's reputation, whether that's a restaurant,
A person.
a person,
Yeah.
a news article, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, go have your own opinion about it. And so many people will come here from other NFL cities and they'll say, damn, that's Detroit?
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's not at all what I thought it was. And I think that's one of the biggest, coolest things that will happen this week.
Yeah, lazy people like to take other people's word for it.
Yeah.
They don't want to do any research. They don't want to do any due diligence for themselves or any backstories or checking or vetting or referencing. I remember my friends told me, a couple friends back in the day, don't go to New Orleans. It stinks. It's a nasty city. You don't want to go there.
I used to feel like that about Pittsburgh.
It's
I used
crime.
to think it was the armpit of America.
Pittsburgh's awesome.
Beautiful city.
It's crime. It's
Incredible.
this, it's that, and the third. Man, you go to New Orleans, man, and you just fall in love with the architecture. You fall in love with the South. You fall in love with the history. You fall in
cemeteries.
love with the decor, the shotgun house, if you will. Obviously, the French Quarter and the main streets, Bourbon Street. But you just fall in love. You got to do the process for yourself. It may have stinked a little bit,
Right.
but everything I did out there was fun. I got in, got out in 4 days for a wedding. So, like you said, you got to vet the process. Come to
Ryan,
Detroit. We won't bite.
Hey, the Lions put out some stuff today
Yeah.
on how to get around and what to do. It's going to be almost like going to a football game at Ford Field. You need like the see-through purses, all of that kind of stuff. If you want to get through this draft easily, just abide by the rules. You can check it out on DetroitLions.com on Twitter. Ryan even put out something on his Twitter as well, or his X. You got a map.
Yep.
It's like a maze, but you can get around and you can get all the way to Hart Plaza from all the way up to past Comerica Park. That's how big it is.
There's no doubt. And that's the map. That's the footprint of the NFL draft and all of the different areas where you'll need that NFL One Pass if you want to get into that red area, if you will, where there's the red line. It kind of looks like, I don't know what it kind of looks like, but it's all the yellow and everything like that. That is where you'll need the NFL One Pass. You could register for these events. It's all for free, but you'll have to register on that NFL One Pass. That actually has a list of how to park, how to get around, where to walk, a map, everything like that, where to eat, what you need here, where the shopping is, anything you need. That NFL One Pass has it. I strongly encourage anybody to download that.
People
app.
Mover will be moving.
That's right.
People Mover will be active. I don't know how big the queue line's going to get you. I don't know how far the queue line's going to get you, but I guess the queue line is available as well if you don't feel like walking those blocks.
Super chat comment. Matt Ryan is officially retired from the game of football. One of the better quarterbacks in Falcons history that never won a Super Bowl. Thank you, Dante. We will address that later today. Greg with a smiley face again. We appreciate you, Greg, very much. But the Lions, this is a huge, huge deal. And what are the Lions going to do? This isn't like years past where they're drafting in the top 5, in the top 10. We have no idea who they're going to pick, let alone when they are really going to pick. Are they going to stay at 29? Now there's so much talk about them moving up, not moving back. And Maz, you were the first guy that really kind of discussed that. Brad Holmes talked about how difficult these draft day decisions are, especially if you're the one guy in the room that says, don't take that player.
Really, it's probably more of the groupthink and the influence that's even a greater threat to our process. That's just human nature, and people naturally want to be a part of the tribe, and they want to get along, and people naturally they want to agree and be likable, and it takes work to go against the grain. It takes a lot of work, and that's why I always have a lot of respect for the lone wolf. When we're in there and everybody's saying yes, 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 and it's some obvious prospect, it's that one person in that room that I was like, I don't, and I'm not saying, oh, there's no, I'm like, no, I want to listen to him, or I want to listen to her. I want to listen to that person because that was a lone wolf, and it takes a lot to be that lone wolf, and I just have a lot of respect for that person.
It's a great example of why Brad Holmes is such a great leader as well. Why? Because he doesn't want a bunch of yes men around him.
There you go.
Find a good leader that has a bunch of yes men around him. I'll show you Tom Gores.
Yep. Good call.
Nobody wants to be the guy that tells their boss no. It takes a strong-willed, strong-principled, strong somebody with conviction about how they evaluate talent to say, Brad, this player cannot be a Detroit Lion. This player should not be a Detroit Lion, and I'll tell you why. And instead of Brad Holmes saying, who's this Yahoo? Get this guy out of the room now. He shuts the room up and says, you speak. I want to hear what you have to say. And I just think that's a mark of a great leader. And if you want to know why the Detroit Lions organization has turned around and become one of the best organizations, not only in the NFL, but in sports, that's exactly why.
Just remember the Brock Purdy story I told you guys about. There's a guy in the room when San Francisco is picking the last player, because they're last up at this one time, and Brock Purdy's name comes up because Brian Griese, former Michigan quarterback, former standout, great announcer, great analyst, now the quarterback's coach of the San Francisco 49ers. He says, you know what? I did this kid Brock Purdy's games on TV. This kid's got something special. Why don't you give a shot, take a shot on him? And what do? They draft him, and he takes them where? This guy, Mr. Irrelevant, is now going to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. So there you go.
It's funny, though, too, and you look at the San Francisco 49ers organization and look at the Carolina Panthers organization. You've got one of the best organizations in the NFL and one of the worst organizations in the NFL. There was Colin was talking about an NFL quarterbacks coach today that said, yeah, situation matters. Situation matters. Brock Purdy goes to a great organization of the San Francisco 49ers with an incredibly talented team, with an incredibly stable head coach, and Brock Purdy succeeds.
Yep.
Now put Brock Purdy on the Carolina Panthers.
Yep. You won't hear about him.
You would never know his name.
Nope.
And he'd be just a guy. And it's a really good highlight of just how much it matters where you go.
Yeah, it definitely matters about where you go. In the NFL, the higher the pick, you're probably going to a franchise that is on the come up, or they're trying to rebuild. They're trying to get their program going in the right direction. So you're not going to be playing with the best talent. You're going to have to figure it out. A lot of times you take lumps, especially at the quarterback position. I mean, look at what Bryce Young is going through down there. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have any weapons. It's nothing really he can do. It's much like Joey Harrington here in Detroit and David Carr with the Texans when they first started in 2000. Kind of, we said that last week, but that's why it pays to have people like Brad Holmes, and that's where Brad Holmes comes in. It doesn't matter about what the situation is. Brad Holmes believes in the players that he's picking. He picks out of necessity for the integrity of the culture, the culture that they put in place starting in 2021. This is that grit. This is that villain. And they pick players to match that. I think a lot of teams, they try to pick players that are home runs in those moments that this is the guy that's going to turn our franchise around. It's not one guy. It's going to turn your franchise around. It's not a guy that you're going to pick, especially when you're at the depths of the bottoms. It's guys, it's players, it's moves that you make in sequence. So I think that's why we're very lucky here in Detroit. We've had a lot of years with bad GMs. We've had a ton of GMs coming here with a plan, and it just never seems to work. And you want to blame the forwards, and you want to blame, et cetera, et cetera. Now we have people that take accountability. Brad Holmes, Sheila Ham, and Dan Campbell, these are accountable individuals that have put together a system that here we are getting excited about the draft, and we don't even pick the 29.
Look at the Brad and the Lions last year. You cannot take a running back in the first round, let alone in the first 12 picks.
Right.
What does he say? We're going to move back because I know I got a guy I want in Jahmyr Gibbs. What pick was that?
12.
With the 12th pick, the Lions select Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
What? Jahmyr Gibbs?
Everybody hated him.
Then they come back with Jack Campbell. And they're like, wow, you traded T.J. Hawkinson away. What are you going to do? With the next pick, we're going to take Sam Laporta from Iowa. All of these picks that people said, you can't do those picks in that order. He does it. Each one of them up for an award last year. Each one of them a huge part of getting him to the finals.
And all four of those players, too, were graded first-round picks by the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Two of them came in the second round.
Yep.
And Brad Holmes said last year, and he didn't put as far as I know, he has not put that number out this year. But last year he said they had 14 players with first-round grades. So what he's saying is there's 18 players that were drafted in the first round of the NFL draft that were just
second or third
round picks in a normal draft with lots of talent. This year, he said that number is higher. Don't know what that number is. But when you get 4 of the 14 first-round grades that you had in your evaluation on players, that's why the Lions won the division, amongst many other reasons, but solidified the division with those rookies last year. Without those rookies last year, the Detroit Lions are not division champions. They don't win 2 playoff games. They aren't in the NFC Championship game, maybe nowhere near it. And I think now, can you pull 1 or 2 guys out this year? Because playing time is a lot more difficult now than it has been in the past. If you're a guy that can come in and be a day one starter now, man, you're a damn good player.
I agree, but at the same time, it goes back to Brad Holmes. It goes back to the guys that he's picking, the guys that he's been watching, for the last 2-3 years, maybe even in some cases, hoping that this guy falls to us, or hoping he's around. You can make a move to get this guy or partner with that guy. So I still think, based on how he vets the process, how he's doing his research at the Senior Bowl, how he's doing it during the combine or during the seasons and his personnel department, it's going to be tough regardless, but he's still going to get players, I think, Ryan, that will challenge these guys in year one. I don't care who it is. You see what they say. Everything is up for grabs every year. Sam Laporta is arguably the best tight end in the NFL. Based on his season last year, you want to see the consistency, but everything is up the next year. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. Hey, we're going to bring in some more guys to challenge you. We're going to bring in some more guys so that you don't feel comfortable. I think what happens with successful teams, Ryan, is they do a great job of establishing who their guys are, the guy, whether it's Aiden Hutchinson is the guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the guy. Jared Goff soon will probably be their guy. Frank Ragnow, et cetera, et cetera. But they also do a great job of bringing guys to the squad that can challenge the guys and don't let guys get comfortable. Amon-Ra St. Brown, great first 3 seasons, but still want to get him challenged. You still want him to keep trying to attain new heights. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, they were up for Rookie of the Year. You don't want these guys to get comfortable just because they had one good year as a rookie. You want to keep bringing in the balance, and you want to keep letting them know, hey, you got to get better every year. And I think that's what Brad Holmes will do. He'll bring in guys that will challenge, but guys that can actually play themselves as well.
And one of the things that Brad Holmes likes to do is he likes to pay his homegrown guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of those guys. No deal yet has been finalized. But he's also got to pay a guy that wasn't homegrown. Well, kind of Brad Holmes homegrown in a way because he drafted him for the Rams. That's Jared Goff. Amon-Ra St. Brown was on with RG3 on his podcast and talked about the importance of paying Jared Goff.
Why is it that in your mind Jared Goff is worth 45, 50, 55 million per year as a starting quarterback?
As his receiver, I mean, he does things out on the field that I'm used to it because I've only played with him my whole career. I've been lucky enough to have one quarterback, but he's, accurate, commands the offense, all the stuff you want in a quarterback. But then you look at the Detroit Lions history. I mean, when's the last time we weren't, this deep in the playoffs, won this many games? When we first got there, like I said, we only won 3 games. So to see what he's done with this Detroit football team from, 2 years ago or 3 years ago to now, he's winning games. I think winning is a big part of this sport, especially for a quarterback. So, and that's what he's doing. He's winning games. And you go look at his stats too. They're up there with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. So he's worth every dollar that he gets. And I can't wait for him to get paid and be a part of this future for a long time.
Before I dive into what he said, because he said some amazing things, you heard the first thing he said? I've been fortunate to play with one quarterback for my first 3 years. Ryan and Tom, in 3 years, Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry, Brad Johnson, Bruce Gradkowski, Brady Quinn, Derek Anderson, and Ken Dorsey.
8?
7.
I was gonna guess 7.
7 in first 3 years and 8 total while I was there. 7 quarterbacks.
Yeah. You had a bad start, man.
You can't develop a rhythm, but hey, everything happens for a reason because I got to the Jets and the rest is history.
You got the Mark Sanchez.
I got to the Jets. Shout out to Mark Sanchez, who is a friend of the show. But Amon-Ra, man, he hit the nail on the head, just talking about having that success, being with Jared Goff, watching him, the little things he does. Sometimes it's not things you can see. Sometimes it's plays. Sometimes it's adjustments. Sometimes it's watching film and how he watches the film with the wide receivers and the running backs and getting on the same page. Jared Goff has truly turned his career around. When you hear a guy like Amon-Ra, who is an all-pro, let's not throw that out there. That title is not used lightly. He's an all-pro wide receiver in the NFL. And he's talking about what this guy means to him. He's not blowing smoke. He's not doing that so he gets more passes. Hell, he's already an all-pro. He's already getting 1,400 yards. He's already getting the passes, and he already has the connection. He's trying to let you know what Jared Goff means to this team and what he means to the wide receiver course. So people better pay attention and people better listen. Everybody's always looking for the replacement. Everybody's always looking for the guy in the draft or the guy that's coming off a team that he doesn't like and pick him up in free agency. Everybody's looking to get past the guy that won you 2 playoff games, a guy that you've seen turn around, a guy that you've seen his confidence level kind of go through the roof in the last 3 years. So stop looking when you already got him.
And that is one of the problems with taking an older quarterback too, like Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
there's not really a Jordan Love track.
No,
right? Jordan Love sat for 4 years. If
behind
Aaron Rodgers,
yeah.
but let's say
3 years.
Let's say Hendon Hooker was 21, 22 years old. You could sit for 3 years and come out and be a starter at 25.
Yeah.
When you're 25 already, you can't sit for 3 or 4 years. Be 28, 29 years old.
He's all done already.
Yeah, I mean, you're retired at that point.
This is true.
You're retiring at 29.
Wow.
You know, I mean, you can't do
I'm ready
that.
to collect Social Security myself.
The flip side of it is you wonder, for a guy like Hendon Hooker, a guy that could have won the Heisman if he didn't get injured, if was a fifth, I understand that statement, that rhetoric. But you're talking about a guy that was in Heisman contention. You're talking about a guy to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Wouldn't he be a devil's advocate, a little more experienced, a little more mature, can pick the game up a little faster? You don't need growing pains or, the younger, if you will, coming in at 20, 21, 22. He's already a mature player, much like Michael Penix, much like a Bo Nix will be. Isn't that do something for you as a GM, as a coach, just thinking about that experience, or?
Yeah, I would.
Or is it still?
Think,
it's
right?
not NFL experience.
I mean, no, but I would think, and that's one of the reasons why I did want to see J.J. McCarthy back at Michigan, because I think it's different going to the NFL at 22, 23.
Will he have beat Orgy out?
I think he might have. I don't know. I like Alex Orgy. But instead of like a 21-year-old, I think there's a big difference in the NFL. I think that 1 year is a huge deal.
I agree. I just look at it from my standpoint. I had a chance, Maz, this, to come out at 21. So I came out after my junior year, 2003. We lose to USC in the Rose Bowl. And, you have that decision to come out 21, get into the NFL. It's been my dream. But I just look at, ultimately, I decided to go after my senior year. But I just look at where I was maturity-wise at 21. Much easier at 22 coming to the league, going back that senior year, going back for the 4 years, and just the knowledge I had and the wisdom I had, just kind of how I approached things was much different after my junior than it was my senior year. So that extra year, it does make a difference. No doubt. Guys, I want to take a break. When we come back, I want to go through a couple of players that Jordan Reed has mocked to the Lions. He did a 7-round mock draft. I think the 7-round mock drafts are ridiculous. Nothing past 3. No, I mean, honestly,
4,
I think the 2nd-round drafts are ridiculous. But nonetheless, what
else are they going to do at this point? Right,
I know. I like 3 rounds. I think it's fun. So we'll let you know what that is. And also, is there a potential drop for J.J. McCarthy? That's also involved in this latest mock draft. We'll let you know what that is, but first a message from the NFL Draft.
All right, first a shout out to our super fan, Greg Osbaugh. He has donated another $10 to Woodward Sports.
Appreciate you, big
Greg
guy.
must have hit the lottery scratch off today. So thank you to Greg. And I want to tell you guys, join Woodward Sports as we broadcast live this Thursday and Friday for the 2024 NFL Draft, brought to you by Figer Law. All we do is win. Live from 313 Draft Party on Woodward Avenue. We're going to be in that special tent. Come on down, Woodward, Elizabeth, and Adams Street. It's a huge tent. You can't miss us. We're going to be there actually starting at 2 o'clock for our show on Thursday. And then, of course, we have the 7:30 draft show at night. So come and join us. Hang with us all day long. Oh, you got it. Right to you now. Brought to you by Figer Law, Glorious, and Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Chili.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. $10 a month is all they charge for you to get in there, get in shape, get right. The summer is coming, it's around the corner, so you want to be smooth for it. Check this out. They feature the squeaky clean gym. Everybody wants to work out, but you want to make sure you're comfortable, you're clean. That's what Planet Fitness does for you. They give you the squeaky clean gym, and then also they let you work out at your own pace. It is home of the judgment-free zone. There's no judgment. You come in, you work at your own pace, do what you want to do. You get your workout in anytime, in any place, because they are all over the city. Take that back. Metropolitan in Detroit, over 50 locations. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The world is about to have their eyes on Detroit, so we figure we show them how Detroit parties. Join us at the 313 Draft Party, presented by Flagger Law on Woodward and Adams in Detroit, April 25th and 26th. That's right, we're taking over the city with a live broadcast from the 313 Draft Party, sponsored by Jars, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown, covering the NFL Draft like only Woodward Sports can. Join the entire Woodward family when the first round begins at 8 p.m. This party is 21 plus, free to the public, and opens at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Come watch the live broadcast for rounds 1, 2, and 3 at the best draft party in the D. Ain't no party like a Detroit party, especially when you party with Woodward Sports. Thank you to our sponsors, Sorokas, Glorious, and Fire Law. All we do is win.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when when you run a great business for over 50 years, you expand. It's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding the Buick GMC brands. And I'll tell you what, this dealership located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. If you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brands you want under one umbrella. All 4 GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive on over to Feiger Law. After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time. So make Feiger Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. It's Feiger Law. All we do is win.
You know, is it fair to say that whatever the Lions do in round 1, that will predicate, obviously, what they do in rounds 2 and 3? And by that, I mean, ESPN's Jordan Reed did a 7-round mock draft. I'm only going to go through the first 3 rounds for you because I just think it's.
But you could say every Lion pick he did.
Okay,
I got it on the sheet for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
The first pick would be exciting for a lot of people. I think Cooper DeJean is there, the defensive back from Iowa. So I think a lot of people would love a cornerback there in the first round. And if Cooper DeJean is there at 22, 23, and the Lions have identified him as a player that they just can't live without, there's your trade up. There's your trade up guy.
Yes. Yes.
Because you've got to have a guy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You've got to have a guy. And you've got to have a position for a guy. And I think the Lions would be willing to trade up for a cornerback. I don't know if they'll be willing to trade up for anybody else.
I got a hunch.
Yeah, what is it?
What's the only time Brad Holmes has traded up so far?
Wide receiver?
I rest my case.
It is very deep wide receiver class.
I don't care. There's guys and there's guys. If he loves a guy and he's there at, like, let's say 20, and he don't have to give up the farm, and he won't because he's gonna be the robber, not the robbie. I would not doubt he would go up and get a receiver if he believes that's the guy, and maybe J-Mo is just another guy.
What do you think about Cooper DeJean there trading up for a corner?
I'm not. It's tough. It's tough because.
And maybe if you take the player's name out of it, is like if the Lions are going to trade up,
it's got to be the guy that you think is going
Right.
to get you over that hump. Let's look at the Detroit Lions, how they currently are constructed, Tom Masaway. We believe that since free agency and some moves that are made, we think that this is going to be a better team than they were last year.
No doubt.
Is that fair to say, Ryan?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
All right, better team. The team last year, 12-5, got to the NFC Championship and was a nickel throwaway, correct?
Yeah.
yes.
In that case, the guy that you go up to get, if you're going to move up, this has got to be the guy that's going to turn the tide. Like I don't know what player that is for the
Yeah.
Lions. It's got to be the guy that you're like, if I put this guy on opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, I think we got something. If I put this guy on opposite of Amon-Ra St. Brown, we got something. If I put this guy next to Jack Campbell, we got something. Or Alex Anzalone. It's got to be a player that you're like, you know what? Because we're this close, let's just move up. I don't mind draft capital. We don't need it anymore. That's what you were saying, Maz.
Facts.
You're saying we're this close.
F those
It's
picks.
got to be a person that you know is going to help you turn the tide. And I'm not talking about in October. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about from the jump, training camp, rookie camp. This is going to be a guy that you believe can give you that jump on whatever side of the ball that is. Outside of that, I'm not moving up. That's my thoughts on it.
And I'm not saying, I don't
Yeah.
even have a player in mind, guys. I'm just saying, if I'm Brad Holmes,
He probably does.
and he's got a player, and that player has slipped through a couple of the teams he thought might take that player, I see him going up and getting that player. And I don't know. Like I said, what the hell do I know? All I know is there's some good players out there. You need a corner, you need an edge rusher, you need a linebacker, and you need a wide receiver. They could play ball right now and be very competitive. But if there's a guy there that he thinks can put them over the top, he's going to get him.
Yeah, I agree.
Defensive back round 1, Cooper DeJean. Wide receiver Ricky Pearsall in the
That's Florida.
Florida in the 2nd round, and a guard in the 3rd round, Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe that's Ricky Pearsall at 61. Cooper Beebe at pick 73, guard from Kansas State. Extensive playing time at both tackles, both guard spots. He's all over the place. Would help solidify the Lions' offensive identity. I don't know who they're picking or what they're picking, but if I had to guarantee 3 positions for the first 3 rounds, I would say interior offensive lineman, wide receiver, cornerback, in no particular order.
If he sits at 29, like you guys think, he's taking an offensive lineman.
Fact.
That's it. If he moves up, he's getting a corner or he's getting a wide out.
I don't think he's taking an edge. I don't think he's taking an interior defensive lineman. It's corner, wide receiver, or offensive line. And I know I'm not like, oh my gosh,
We're not breaking news.
right. I'm not breaking any news to you.
We're guessing,
You know what
by
I
the
mean?
way. We're just as good as anybody
right.
else.
I'm not breaking any news to you, but that's what I would envision round 1, 2, and 3 to look like, is in no particular order: corner, wide receiver, offensive lineman.
Yeah,
or offensive lineman, wide receiver, corner, however you want to look at it.
Also, too, I'm telling you, this is one of those drafts. The Detroit Lions, let's start here. My backup, doesn't matter the draft. Brad Holmes, Detroit Lions, their draft grades are different than other teams' draft grade. Man, they value certain players a little higher sometimes.
Interview process is huge.
100%, and they value certain players a little lower. So I think this is a draft. You talk about it, it's much better than the draft last year. It's much better than the draft the year before in terms of the complete level of talent that you have in the first 2 to 3 rounds. So it also may not make sense to move up. The guy that you've been vetting, the person that you want for the Detroit Lions and Brad Holmes, maybe that guy is going to slip to you anyway. Maybe lied to. I know that's the guy. I keep talking about.
He's going early.
Maybe he doesn't.
Right. That's a guy maybe you go get.
A lot of people scared of his short arms. They said he had short arms, kind of like Elijah Cansey last year out of Pittsburgh.
Didn't Aaron Donald have short arms?
There you go, man. You know exactly what I was going to say. Bingo. Nobody even knew who he was.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw something recently on Aaron Donald. They were talking about, like, the year he got drafted. They were interviewing some players on his team. Like, we didn't really know who this guy was. Now Aaron Donald's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he knows what he can do. So Brad Holmes just continues to trust himself. I'm not so sure that the players that the Detroit Lions wanted that pick, I'm not so sure that they're not going to be there. I think they're going to have about 3 guys there at pick 29 that have been on their power board. Because remember, their board is a lot different than the other 31 teams in the NFL. So you don't have to move up or you don't have to move back. it's just going to be an interesting draft.
Draft is rich at offensive linemen. The draft
Wide
is
receiver.
rich at wide receiver.
It's rich in offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with the quarterbacks. I did bring up the JJ thing in the tease. So Jordan Reed does have JJ falling in this draft. He's got Caleb Williams go to the Bears, Jaden Daniels to Washington, Drake May to New England. 1, 2, 3.
Poor
Chalk.
bastard.
Marvin Harrison going 4 to Arizona. Chalk. Joe Alt, offensive tackle, going where?
Chargers.
The Chargers. Chalk. Malik Neighbors, New York Giants, wide receiver. Roma Dunze, wide receiver, Washington, going to 7. This is where you have Minnesota trading up with Atlanta to take J.J. McCarthy at 8. This is as low as I have seen J.J. McCarthy go in any mock draft. 8.
Once again, we've talked about this. It's around this time, Ryan Ermanni, it's who you fall in love with. As an owner, as a head coach, it's the players you fall in love with. It's the players you want. It's what you believe a guy can do. It's what you saw on film as a head coach, as a scouting guy, as a GM. What did you see on film? Not what the other team saw. What do you believe this person can do? How did this person interview? You know, what's going on? What are the backstories about this person? This is when they use little stories that leak about people and their personalities and, you know, what they've done to, maybe we don't draft this guy. Maybe we don't draft that guy. It's going to be interesting to see, but the closer and closer you get to draft, the more and more these stories start to stick because you're running out of, no pun intended, as Sam Day just entered the studio. What's up, Stick? But no pun intended, but this is around the time where you've heard all that you're going to hear, you believe all that you're going to see, and you don't believe what you're not going to believe. So this is when stories, they're getting pretty close to being, you know, on the money, if you will. Tuesday, you pretty much know what's going down by Tuesday night, except for Brad Holmes.
I'll challenge Jordan Reed on JJ ain't getting past the Giants.
He's not getting past 4, I don't think. I think he's going to get 4, not to Arizona, but I think somebody's going to trade up to get him to 4. I don't think he's getting past 4. And in fact, if you believe the odds makers, J.J. McCarthy's in 1 hour yesterday, in 1 hour, J.J. McCarthy's odds to go number 2 to Washington went from 20-1 to 17-1 to 11-1. Now it's 10-1 to go number 2 to Washington.
Yeah. They're still praying the Bears will mess up and let Caleb Williams fall to them at number 2. And that ain't going to happen, though.
No.
But the Giants and the Vikings are going to be dueling each other to get up to get J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
That's my 2 teams. That's my J.J. McCarthy landing spot. Giants or Vikings, somewhere in the top 5.
I heard this, Ryan. Let me tell you what you think about it, because JJ's your guy. You've been lobbying for JJ for the better part of, a year plus now, and it seems like you're going to be right, regardless if he goes 1, regardless if he goes
top 4. I win.
If he goes top 10, you still win, in my opinion. But definitely top 4, you're definitely right. The JJ to Minnesota thing, right, man? Mm-hmm. It has been a thing.
Smoke screen.
For how long?
Yeah, for the entirety of this whole process.
100%. Ever since the combine.
You know what that feels like, honestly?
Okay, go ahead.
It feels like Mike Tomlin, Malik Willis.
Oh, God. He was in love with him, supposedly.
Was there another team and another coach more in love with a guy besides me and Tom Maz?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we fell for the Tomlin deal.
We fell for the Tomlin thing.
We did.
I wanted who Mike Tomlin wanted.
Yes.
And for 4 months, essentially, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers appeared all in on Malik Willis.
Yeah.
And more so than anything, that's really kind of, if you go back 3 years and go back 3 years and find one bad take, fine. But that's really what it stemmed from. This Minnesota JJ thing feels exactly like the Tomlin Malik Willis situation, where that one team has been so synonymous with one player, besides, of course, the Bears and
Caleb. The Vikings are taking a quarterback, guys. They're taking a quarterback, and they pick at 11. They're not staying at 11. They are moving up and getting a quarterback.
Taking JJ because he's the one that's left.
Yeah, true. And they're not trying to give up draft capital to move, and then other teams aren't trading. Maybe they go to 3. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they go to 3. Drake May's stock is trying
Don't forget, they got to beat the Giants out for 'em.
slowly but surely rising back up. But, yeah, it just feels like it's been so lockstep for the better part of 5 weeks now. It's like, can it be true? I told you my draft story all the time, and I don't have to repeat it again, but that Miami deal was locked and loaded. It was locked and
You were
loaded
going
the
to
whole
South
time.
Beach.
If you're Arizona, I'm only calling the Giants.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to 11. I'm going to 6.
Okay.
Because even if I don't get Marvin Harrison, I want Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get another pick. That's how you improve your team.
No doubt. The Patriots should definitely trade number 3. The Patriots should definitely trade number 3.
There's no question about that.
Like you said,
No
they're picking in the
question
top
about
3
that.
next year as well.
I think
Get the hell out of there and get 3 picks.
I think another thing that could affect this draft, and this is just me, watching what happened, I keep bringing it up, man, is that 2020 draft with Trey Lance and
Yes,
Zach Wilson.
all those guys they
and
reached for.
Justin Fields and Mac Jones. And missing one, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
That wasn't a reach, but Trevor Lawrence. 5 quarterbacks. Everybody's desperate. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody's trying to find that guy. We need a quarterback.
Jordan Love.
Here's our first. Jordan Love was in that one. He got drafted a little later. We got to find our guy. We got to pick our guy. Most of them didn't work out. We're even trying to see if Trevor Lawrence is going to ultimately work out.
Love and Lawrence are making it.
Which I agree. I agree. But just, for the sake of conversation. So I think if you're looking at that, if you're the Vikings, Ryan Ermanni, if you're the Giants, why am I moving up to get a quarterback I may not even trust? Why am I moving up to get a quarterback that
Because you have Daniel Jones and Drew Lock.
This is true, but you talk about wasted picks. How many times? How long have the New York both teams
Since
been
Eli
trying?
Manning?
Exactly. So I'm just maybe you don't move up because now you're moving up. Now you're the San Francisco 49ers that wasted all that money on Trey Lance. Now you're moving up. Now you're the Chicago Bears who wasted that pick and that money with Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh yeah.
Insert Zach Wilson from the New York Jets.
And don't forget they traded away from Patrick Mahomes.
100% who would have been. So I just think that could have scarred some owners and some GMs because of that draft and how it played out. 4 of 6 of those guys aren't even on the same team anymore. They were first-round quarterbacks. This is 5 years later. So that draft could have an effect, and maybe it does happen like that.
So there's a guy who was trying to call me out on Twitter yesterday or 2 days ago. And so, mind you, I said this, JJ's going to go number 1 overall. Like, I have been looking for this video for so long. Like, I can't even describe it for you. Like, this was about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, I went through our old, like the YouTube, and I'm scouring YouTube. Yeah. And I'm looking for it, and I don't even really know what I'm looking for. I'm looking in November, October.
What'd the guy say to you?
He posted the clip to me.
Okay.
He's like, oh, yeah, because I posted, I think JJ's going number 2 to Washington. Yeah. Okay. And the guy said, oh, yeah. Yeah, now you're backtracking. You said he was going number 1.
Yeah.
And shared this clip. Sorry for the poor quality. I'll just say it. Heisman. Well, he definitely will be in New York for the Heisman. I think he's going to be the number 1 player selected in the NFL draft, unless it's like a Marvin Harrison kind of thing. If Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams? Yes. I think that this guy is Joe Burrow reincarnated. And then your reaction is fantastic after that.
So you said he's Joe Burrow reincarnated.
Yeah, and so the guy's calling me out for that.
Yeah.
And but I've been looking for that video. That's in late August, early September.
Who came on and said he's Joe Burrow light? Who came on?
I don't know.
We had a guest.
Oh, yeah.
We had a guest last week.
Yeah.
Twentyman.
Tim Twentyman.
Was it Twentyman? Yeah.
And he said, he's Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. And then I said, okay, if he goes number 2, I still win. He's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, dude, okay, whatever. But I went back and forth with him for a little bit.
That's funny, man.
But that was August or September.
How much time did you waste trying to get
Oh,
that?
my God. I didn't even find it still.
And they're never in sequential order. Right. That's what's tough.
But it's funny that this rando is out there hanging on to that video for,
let's face it,
8 months.
Sports fans in general, all of us
miserable people
think we're right and we're miserable when we think someone is going against us. We are all right. Everyone on the chat is right. We're right. Everyone on the chat thinks we're wrong. We think they're wrong. It's sports. It's sitting at a bar and having fun and arguing. Lucky for you, your last name doesn't start with Maz, because I am now Maz Leak Willis for life. Okay? Thank you to Mike G and company for that. At least you don't got that moniker.
No.
I think the tough thing about having this job, and I think we all take it very seriously. We take it, we work hard, put in the work, do the research, come up with our own opinions. I think it's so easy for people that watch the show or to listen to radio and do that. It's easy for them to just go listen to what such and such says on this show or such and such says on that show, or go ESPN and Fox and just take things that people are already saying. They don't go do the research. They don't vet the process. They don't know necessarily what they're looking for. So a lot of time you have these couch GMs that, hell, we're couch GMs ourselves, but at the same time, we're putting forth some effort. We're vetting things. We're looking back 3-4 years ago when a guy transferred from this school. What was he there? How was he there? How is he going to be different? So we put together a lot of work, man. We know you think it's easy. It's not, because Mel Kiper Jr. gets it wrong all the time.
Find me somebody who thought J.J. McCarthy was a top 5 pick in August.
Nobody.
And I'll find you a liar.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yep.
You and Harbaugh.
Now, look, 2
You and
years
Harbaugh.
ago, we were at the bar in Greektown. Remember?
Yep.
And the Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, Lions are on the clock. Trayvon Walker is going to go number 1. And you and me are like, all right, maybe it's Malik here.
Yep.
Maybe it's Malik. We really wanted a quarterback. Okay, so we get Aiden Hutchinson. Everyone, all right, we're good. And then
Trade up
10
to 12.
picks later, here comes the trade up. And you and me are hugging each other, jumping up and down. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
I
It's
remember.
Malik Willis. It's Malik Willis. And it was Jamison Williams. And I had a guy digging up that YouTube video of you and me celebrating that it was going to be Malik Willis. And they can't get over it.
Right, they
They're
can't
always
get
going to
over
give it to us.
They can't get over it.
But it's okay. It's really okay. It's sports. We all love each other. We all love the Lions. We want the best for them. That's it. Sports fans are worse than political people going against each other.
It's the same thing.
It is.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I bet the people that have the opinions of the strongest, like, you get it from somebody else.
Yep.
Like,
you heard someone say something. You take it as your own.
There are very few people that listen to this show every day that think any of us are whack jobs or just crackpots or don't know what we're talking about. And we appreciate you. I think for the most part, sports fans who see a clip on the internet or something else, and then they see one guy piling on, and then the next guy piles on. Then everybody piles on. Yeah. Oh, they like this guy, so you're gonna. It doesn't matter. It's just like politics. Yeah. Really, it's just like politics. Yeah. You will take a news report from CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whichever tribe you're from, and you will look at one clip from one video, and whatever the person says that's reporting it, you are going to just, that's what you believe.
If you like what he says.
Right.
Or she.
And then, but you didn't really listen to what the guy had to say in full context or anything like that and make up your own mind. Very few people make up their own minds about anything. And I think that's why, we're in the political climate we're in, but that's also is sports fans. Very few people can listen to something, can watch something, and make up their own minds about it. They need somebody to tell them what to think. And that is why you might watch a debate and immediately go to, I don't watch any of the after shows, like the wrap-up shows.
Okay, I got you.
You'll immediately go to some 8-person panel, and they'll tell you what to think, and that's what you think. Mm-hmm. And it's the same for like an NFL game, right?
We fell for Mike Tomlin, quarterback.
Well, not only
we did,
but that's something.
And we wanted a quarterback. We thought we needed a quarterback.
That's something completely different than what I'm saying. There will people. What I'm saying is there will be people that watch that NFC Championship game, and they will see Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down or not kicking the field goal. Instead of making their own mind up about it at the time, they will wait to go to,
Scott Van Pelt,
Valeni, whoever they're, and they will wait for that person to tell them what to think about it, and that's what they think. Am I making sense here?
You are.
At the end of the day, people don't want to make their own opinions because they're scared. I don't want to call them cowards, because I don't want to go that hard, but people are scared to make opinions. Vet the process, because if their opinions are wrong, if their opinions are laughing at it, it's harder to get out of your own feelings when somebody crapped on your opinion. When it was really your true opinion, this is what you really truly felt. This is what I like. This is what I think is going to happen. Somebody laughs at it. Now you're like, oh, dang, they laughed at my opinion. Oh, well, now I don't ever want to give my opinion again because it's not good enough. People they don't have the strength. Hey, Maz, you said Malik Willis. It wasn't Malik Willis. He went in the 3rd round. But guess what? You lived to fight another day.
I do.
You made the pick. You stood on it. It didn't work. Here we are. You move forward. A lot of people can't do that. They'd rather it be somebody else's rhetoric. So then once you say that, well, that's what Colin said. Well, that's what Greenberg said. Make your own opinions. Stop being a coward.
I stuck with my opinion last year at the NFC Championship game. I did it at the party I was at. I did it every single day after. I argued with Ryan. Ryan's like, you gotta kick the field goal. And I'm like, how do you know he would have made the field goal? How do you know? I'm going with what Dan Campbell believes. I'm going that Josh Reynolds dropped 2 passes that would have won him the game. Yeah. I'm sticking with my opinion. And my opinion from that day was I'm good with whatever the hell they do. They came up short, so be it. But I've stuck with that. I'm not saying they should have kicked the field goal. They should have. What the hell? They didn't kick field goals all year long. They had a guy in Michael Badgley.
They did at the end of the first half.
Yes, they did. They did. And I didn't even want them to do it then, to be perfectly honest. I wanted them to go for it and kill them and finish them because they were still on top of their game then. And look what happened in the 3rd quarter when San Francisco sucked the life out of them. Pause. That's all I got to say. I wish they went for the kill at the end of the 2nd quarter. My opinion.
I totally agree with you. And again, I use that as a kind of to make a point about how people want to be told what to think instead of actually think for themselves. I really believe that.
The pizza man yapped at me. He's like, Maz, don't you remember the 50-yard field goal he kicked against the Rams? Yeah, that was indoors. That was indoors. It's completely different. I know it's in San Francisco and the weather's nice. It's completely different.
Good job, Maz.
That's all.
Good job, buddy.
That's it. If my coach wants to go for it, I'm on top. I'm with him.
Good for you.
You know why? Because I'm just a fan. What the hell do I know?
So does that mean anything he does you're okay with?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's not life, though. Like, there could be some things that
you not very enjoyable.
I can disagree.
But no, you can and you are, and I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people I like, but I'm not going to agree with everything they say because I like them and I trust them. Shoot, I disagree with my mom from time to time. And I know that sounds ludicrous.
I disagree with my wife.
We all do.
I understand, but what I'm telling you is, if I can disagree with my mom, who's been right about 98% of the stuff she ever told me, I can disagree with the head coach and still be a fan.
I get you.
There's no doubt about it. All right, guys, coming up next, we've got a great interview scheduled with the CEO and president and CEO of the Southeast Michigan Boys and Girls Club. Great event on Wednesday night. Shawn Wilson will join us next. We'll talk about that. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Hey, head to shop.woodwardsports.com and check out the latest Detroit sports merch. Also, I love that new hoodie and t-shirt that we have, the sort of the election style with the Campbell and Holmes president, vice president style. That's a great t-shirt. So head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load up on the new hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Hey, Maz, can you tell me about Premier Pet, my friend?
I can. Not only can I tell you about Premier Pet, but I actually saw it yesterday in downtown Detroit. Yes, there's a Premier Pet Supply in downtown Detroit, but you can go online, premierpetsupply.com. Hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, one right down there where the draft is taking place. 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available and curbside delivery if you need it. Nutritionists on call anytime you have a question. Give them a try right now. Give your pet the best. It's premierpetsupply.com.
world is about to have their eyes on Detroit. So we figure we show them how Detroit parties. Join us at the 313 Draft Party, presented by Flagger Law on Woodward and Adams in Detroit, April 25th and 26th. That's right, we're taking over the city with a live broadcast from the 313 Draft Party, sponsored by Jars, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown. Covering the NFL Draft like only Woodward Sports can. Join the entire Woodward family when the first round begins at 8 p.m. This party is 21 plus, free to the public. It opens at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Come watch the live broadcast for rounds 1, 2, and 3 at the best draft party in the D. Ain't no party like a Detroit party, especially when you party with Woodward Sports. Thank you to our sponsors, Sorokas, Glorious, and Flagger Law. All we do is win.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Shawn H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? You should see what I did there. Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Nashville hot chicken sandwich is back. I keep talking about it last Sunday. Oh, it was amazing, but it's hot. It is spicy. That goes for the pizza, the chicken sandwich, and the Nashville hot fries as well. But also, it's a limited time, man. You got to try it. You got to try it, for the offer is off the table. Visit any Soroki's, or you can go to Soroki's.com, Saroiks. It is a place where you go, and they got 11 convenient locations here in Metropolitan. You got to get that Nashville hot sandwich. It's new, it's back, but only for a limited time. Soroki's, crispy chicken and pizza.
And let me tell you about the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan and the Jerome Bettis Bus Stops Here Foundation, proud to present the 3C Sports Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, coaches in our local communities. Features impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, and Adam Schefter, April 24th through the 26th. For more information, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen right now and sign up today. We will be joined by the president and CEO of Southeast Michigan Boys and Girls Club, Shawn Wilson. We'll do that momentarily. I do want to mention, Braylon, something that I saw today, and I didn't realize this, and you didn't have the benefit of this, but You know when your name gets called for the NFL draft and players walk up to the podium and they get the jersey by the commissioner and you're like, how did they know? Yeah. How did that jersey get there so fast? A local company is responsible for doing that. The company is called Stalls. They're based in St. Clair Shores.
Man, where were they at in 2005?
And back in 2011, they've got a partnership with Nike.
Okay.
And back in 2011, their Nike rep called him and said, hey, got an idea. Would you be interested? And he's like, yeah, we're interested. We can make that happen, I believe. So in 2012, they started this where they take their heat press. They went to Radio City Music Hall. You know, when you see the they get the pick is in, okay. Stalls gets the names. They have the name of every player draft that is eligible to be drafted.
Okay.
They have different teams, different colors, different fonts, and they have about less than 2 minutes. Name gets called, heat press, name, font, jersey, get down, get it to the commissioner. They're right behind the curtain doing this. How
crazy.
Cool is that?
Super cool. In 2005, when I got drafted, they just give you the big jersey. It has the number 1 on it, just symbolic of the first round. Didn't have my name on the back. I still have that jersey, by the way, framed with no name on the back.
It's funny. That was part of the story today, too, because they said, well, that's the first time an NFL player sees their name on their new NFL team, and many of them just frame the jersey.
100%. Yeah, we framed the thing, and it says no. It doesn't say Edwards. It says number 1, but we know what it means.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So cool. I just think it's great that a local company does that jersey. Yeah, I mean, Stalls been around. Started out of a garage in 1923.
Have they been? Have they been the one doing the printing press since 2012? Or are they doing it this year?
Since 2012, they've been doing it every year.
My buddy works for them. I know really? Them. It's a great story.
Yeah, it is an incredible company. Speaking of incredible organizations, the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan has a great event coming up this week, and we'll talk to the president and CEO right now, Shawn Wilson. Shawn, how are you, my friend? Thanks so much for joining us. I know you've got some great things happening this week.
We do appreciate you guys having me on, and we're super excited. We have the 3C Sports Conference coming up this week in partnership with Jerome Bettis, the Bus Hall of Famer, and it's going to be 3 days of just amazing content for players, parents, and coaches.
I think I'm going to be out there on Wednesday, and Shawn, just the impact that individuals like Jerome Bettis, and there's a host of other celebrities that are going to be there, but the impact that those individuals have on the kids and the people, everybody involved, the parents, the everybody involved with the Boys and Girls Club. How do you measure that? Is it measurable?
Well, I think influencers like Jerome Bettis and others, they have what I call fame currency, right? And they take that fame currency, put it on top of issues like youth sports, and they're really able to help move the needle. And part of what we're trying to move the needle on is, returning the game of the youth sports to the kids. The adults honestly have taken it over. You see adults behaving badly, whether it's referees or coaches or parents. And it's really taken away from what youth sports is all about, which is about teaching kids about life. And instead of teaching them about how to be good team players, work hard, dedication, all of that good stuff, we're teaching them how to be selfish players and how to play me ball, things of that nature. So that's how we came up with this, is sitting down with Jerome. Jerome was really impacted by youth sports coaches who were doing it the right way. And we just see that a lot of our kids aren't getting that same benefit, and we want to return the game. So we're doing the conference to bring parents, coaches, kids all together and talk about, the issue of how do we bring that back? How do we bring back the power of youth sports? But then also we're tackling issues like NIL, right? We have to stay current, help the kids understand and parents understand how to maximize opportunities like NIL deals, but also mental health. Mental toughness, because as we all know, physical ability is only part of the game. That mental piece is equally, if not more important.
Yeah, Shawn, what's going on? Braylon Edwards here. I want to say first and foremost, man, I really appreciate what you're doing. I myself was a product of the Boys and Girls Club. I used to go to the one in Michigan and Livernois. My pops put me in that one back in the day. So in the summers, I would come up from Atlanta, stay with my dad. He would drop me off there because he had to go to work, and I would legitimately be there from 9 p.m. to 3 p.m. So I really appreciate the people. And you're absolutely right. Whether it was Pell, whether it was the Boys and Girls Club of America, it was team. It was about the team. It was about the concept of the sport. It was about just diving into that. And it was about getting outside. It's about having fun. Nowadays, kids, they want to stay inside. They want to play video games in the yard, like you said. Individual. How do we change that? Like, what is the conversation going to be? And I myself very interested as well how I can help. What is the conversation? Because these kids, if it's not Fortnite, if it's not Call of Duty, if it's not that, it's take me to the skills camp so I can, hit the gritty and do this, that, and the third. How do we get them back to a team level of respect for one another in the game itself?
Yeah, so I think a couple things. One, we have to recognize that youth sports has become a business, right?
Yeah,
Multi-billion. I think it's about a $19-20 billion industry. Whereas before it wasn't about that, right? And also a lot of the free opportunities to participate in youth sports and just play, a lot of that has gone away since the 70s and 80s and early 90s. So part of it is we have to bring equity back to youth sports, and that's what the Boys and Girls Club 3C sports model is all about. Is, for instance, everybody wants personalized training for their kids, right?
Yeah.
Everybody pops up their personal trainer. $75 an hour, I'll train your kid. I'll help giving them a competitive advantage, right? Half of these guys haven't even played at the next level, but they're trainers, right? And their level of, if they're a good trainer, is if they can make your kid throw up from working them so hard, right? And so what we've done, we've built an indoor facility. We've hired a group of true trainers to come in and train the kids, and we provide it for free. So if a kid buys a $50 membership for the Boys and Girls Club, and they're a part of one of our teams, they get 4 weeks of training from Quarterback University, Donnie Dooley, right? I mean, just really great trainers who specialize in every aspect of the game. They're able to get that basically for free for the cost of the membership. But we also provide our youth with sports psychologists. We're the only youth sports program that actually has sports psychologists on staff that work with the kids to help them process what they're going through, how to deal with anxiety, how to learn how to lose. That's another thing. Our whole culture has become win-win-win. We're ranking 8-year-olds. Like I have parents tell me, my son is the number one quarterback, 8-year-old quarterback in the country.
Say what?
How? How do you even know that?
Based on what?
Based on what, right? And so we have to really return the purity of the game and provide equity. And that's what we're doing, man. Look, it may cost us legitimately $600, $700 per kid to run our tackle football league. We charge $150, $175, right? It's free training for the kids. We pay our youth sports coaches to actually coach because we want to be able to provide them with a different level of accountability. And then also we actually provide them with training. We have a coaches academy that gives them 20, 30 hours of professional development training, because so often, you got all of these coaches and nobody's teaching them how to actually coach. So part of what has happened is we've turned into a recruitment leagues, right? Where it's basically whoever can recruit the biggest, fastest, strongest kid, that's who wins. But there's no actual coaching going on. So, man, there's a lot that needs to be done. But I think to answer your question, how we start is by having this open, honest, transparent conversation about where youth sports is today.
I appreciate that. And this isn't a question. This is just more picking up on something that you said. You're absolutely correct. Right. When they stopped making things free in the community, like baseball was a major thing, and I don't want to make this a black and white thing. Just look at the number of black players in the MLB now. You don't see many of them anymore because the programs used to be free. I used to play Detroit Pal. I used to play a lot of pads. I played on Belle Isle. You play those things, they were free for African Americans. You get on there, you get a chance to play, learn the game, learn how to play. Now, they don't have those programs, so that's why you see a lot of kids migrating to basketball. All you need is a ball and basketball. Football, they got to do is be fast. They'll get you in somewhere. So I appreciate that.
Hey, Shawn, I'm totally obsessed with what you're saying right now. I really am, because I think somewhere along the way we have robbed these kids of being kids because we have turned this sports, youth sports, into a business. Nowadays, when I play 3 sports, if you play 2 sports, your coach at each team thinks you're not going to make my team. You got to work out for that sport all year long. I really appreciate what you're doing. How did you kind of make that decision that is what you're going to do? You're going to get back to the basics here and put the youth in youth sports back.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to your point. Those coaches that tell you, "Oh, this kid isn't serious," because
Right.
he or she is playing two, three sports, and they're 9, 10 years old. What are you talking about? Let them. That's the power of sports sampling. Let them have fun, right? But we really got into this during COVID. And Boys and Girls Club, we've always offered rec sports and
Yep.
things of that nature. But during COVID,
Bumper pool, baby.
yeah, you know what I'm saying,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
So we've done that, but we've transitioned our model to really focus on a higher quality, skill based programming. And when COVID hit, there was most leagues shut down in the city, and we were approached by about 16 tackle football teams who were not going to have a season that first year in COVID, and they asked if we would support them. So understanding the mental health toll that COVID was taking, we stepped up to the plate and really saved that season for those kids. But as we started looking under the hood, and I saw, we're pulling in the parking lots, and there's coaches and parents, drinking, smoking weed, gambling. And then you get in there and the coaches are screaming and yelling at the kids, cussing them out like they're grown men. We started looking at this and we had to make a decision, quite honestly. We're Boys and Girls Club. We're about youth development, first and foremost. So if we're going to stay in youth sports, either we're going to have to transition this, right? Or we're not going to be in that level of youth sports. We have to pick one. And we decided that parents deserve an option of a family-friendly environment, true caring adults, affordable programming. Parents deserve that option, and then they can choose. And that's what really made us move into this, because it's also impacting the family dynamics. If you really think about it, parents are putting so much pressure on their kids. I've never seen this. It's really wild if you think about it. My parents, man, I played all kinds of sports. I ran track, I played baseball, basketball, football, all that stuff, right? Had a blast. My parents would come to the game. They didn't say anything to my coach, right? If I sat the bench, they said nothing. If I started, and played nonstop, they said nothing, right? They respected the game and the coaching. Now you have parents who are treating their kids like prima donnas. They're preparing meals. They're bringing out chairs so they can sit in between games and shading them and all this stuff. And they're taking a lot of away from what sports is supposed to be teaching their kids and putting a whole hell of a lot of pressure on them to perform and be the best. And the truth is, that's not what sports is all about, right? Sports is about each child finding their personal level of athletic ability, right? And everybody has a different level of athletic ability. Sports is about teaching kids to bust through that agony of, I don't want to run another lap. I don't want to do, and then you do it and you feel great about yourself, right? Sports is about teaching kids how to lose, because the truth is, in life, you're going to lose more than you win. And right now we're sending this message that if you don't win every time you play a game, you're a loser. And winning is nothing more than a compilation of losing and learning from it. And that's how you win. So, for us, it was a choice of either we're going to turn this into a true youth development league and an opportunity, or we're just going to stick to what we're doing around workforce development, behavioral health, building amazing clubs, environments. Like right now, I'm sitting in a Big Shawn studio that he's put in each one of our clubs. Like sports is but a small piece of what Boys and Girls Club does, right?
So
we have a group of kids right now in Abu Dhabi racing in an autonomous racing league.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's just a small part of what Boys and Girls Club does.
So you don't hand out participation trophies, I take it. Really?
No competition doesn't
Oh, God bless you many times over, Shawn. Can't thank you enough. So how can we help you? What do you want people to know out there, Shawn?
Yeah, so listen, a couple things. There's a few spots left. We're pretty much we're sold out for our opening event on Wednesday, but there's a few spots left in the sports conference. They can go to bgcsm.org. Also, if you want to get your kids, involved in the right league, that's really focused on positive competition, building community, a healthy culture. We're doing flag right now. We got 7-on-7 on tap, and then we got contact. We just finished our basketball championships a while ago. So, parents have an option. Come check us out.
We will be out there spreading the word as well. The 3C Sports Conference, Shawn Wilson, CEO and president of the Southeast Michigan Boys and Girls Clubs. We'll be out there. Woodward Sports, Fox 2, we'll all be out there spreading the word and being a part of this great organization, doing a lot of great for kids, for youth, for the community. Shawn, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's always good to see an alumni. Come back to the club, man.
What up, though? Yes, sir.
Thanks, Shawn. All the best, my friend.
Take care,
all the
man.
best. Boy, that was magnificent. You won't hear a better interview this week than that.
Yep.
No,
That's kids in a nutshell, the way you really want them to go. Like, I coach JV softball for the CYO, and a lot of parents tell me, well, we can't make this game, coach. We can't do this practice. Why? Well, the travel team needs us. The freaking travel team has now suffocated all of these leagues that schools have. The CYO can hardly field teams now. And that's the Catholic Youth Organization.
That's what I played in.
It's because travel leagues are snuffing everything out. And they take away from all the other sports that these kids want to play, like you guys were saying. And it's, you know how expensive it is on top of it all?
Yeah.
It's pathetic, man.
Such a shame. And we need people like you coaching these kids. We need people like Shawn that see something that's not right, and he says, look, we have to put a stop to this. This is what we're going to go back to the basics here. Winning, losing, developing young people, developing. And look, you know, I'll say it, I don't care. My kid plays baseball. He's doing first-year machine pitch. He was the only kid that didn't get a hit at the practice last week. And you know what? You know what all his teammates did? It's all right, buddy. You'll get it. Keep working. That's all right, Luke. Keep working. You're fine.
Fantastic.
You know, it was like a rallying or like. I just want I hope my kid gets one hit this season.
Yeah.
You know, like this season, at the end of the season, after putting all the work in, I hope he gets one hit.
My kid Maddie played basketball one season, and we at the end, the last game of the season, they kept passing her the ball to try to get a basket, trying to get a basket. She got one. It was like we won the Super Bowl.
It
was,
I mean,
that's all. And you have your best friends.
And
your best friends are on those teams.
Even if he rides the bench his whole life, I just want him to be part of the team.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, just be part of the team. It's really good stuff.
I love when people have a plan. Yeah, it's one thing to talk about a thing. It's one thing to talk about trying to get back to the community, trying to get back to team sports, trying to get back to competition. But it's another thing to actually go out there, put a plan together, get with some people, link up with Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Detroit's own, yourself, Ryan Ermanni, and, you know, Woodward Sports, putting a plan in action for these kids that may not necessarily have the ability to go travel, whose parents don't have the money to go be a part of that. This stuff costs. Like all these extra camps and all these extra equipment, like hockey, baseball, golf, those sports are super expensive. So it's good to have people like that are putting, you know, opportunities. And also, like you said, it's not just sports. You saw the Big Sean studio. It's about networking. It's about development. It's about getting you outside the realm of your room. Get out of the room. Experience what else is going on. So I really appreciate what they're doing.
Xavier wants us to post a link to this conference. Do we have the ability to do that in here somewhere? Xavier, stay tuned to the chat. We will get it in there. Pete's a little busy right now in the booth, but we will get it in there.
QR code.
Yeah, or you could just get the QR code right there on your screen right there. If you, we'll leave it up for another 30 seconds or so. If you can get that QR code, that is a great way to do it as well. And actually, let me see if I can do this right here. Hold on. I think I can do it, but I don't know if I can post it in the chat. Hold on one second. We're working on the fly. Oh, I got to sign into chat. I don't know how to do that.
Just do it on your phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do it on your phone.
I'm not.
Do it on the commercial.
Take a break in the commercial.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will take a break. We'll get that in there, though. We'll get that, Xavier. We will get that link in there. Stay tuned. Give me 3 minutes, okay? But first, a message from Swiss.
That's right, everybody. I do have good news, and I have bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan, but the good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Also, don't forget about Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., right here here on Woodward Sports. Join Matt Broder, Sam Flannel, the Great Kool-Aid, KB and KG, I should say, and JB as well. All of them, all 5 of them, ready to help you break open your Detroit sports morning right here. Wake Up Woodward, 8 to 10 a.m. on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. We'll be right back.
Is about to have their eyes on Detroit, so we figure we show them how Detroit parties. Join us at the 313 Draft Party, presented by Flagger Law on Woodward and Adams in Detroit, April 25th and 26th. That's right, we're taking over the city with a live broadcast from the 313 Draft Party, sponsored by Jars, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown, covering the NFL Draft like only Woodward Sports can. Join the entire Woodward family when the first round begins at 8 p.m. This party is 21 plus, free to the public, and opens at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Come watch the live broadcast for rounds 1, 2, and 3 at the best draft party in the D. Ain't no party like a Detroit party, especially when you party with Woodward Sports. Thank you to our sponsors, Sorokas, Glorious, and Flagger Law. All we do is win.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda. A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You could walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's a wicked awesome.
After you get your haircut, what you want to do is you want to go to a Shake Shack, because right now that Chicken Shack sandwich, we had it last Friday. You saw me eat it on the air. I don't even like eating food around people. I'm talking about the Chicken Shack sandwich from Shake Shack. Appreciate that pause. But now you got a chance to get promo code Woodward is what you use when you get there. You'll get a free Chicken Shack sandwich with the purchase of $10. That means you get yourself another sandwich, get yourself some crinkly fries, and you get a sandwich for free. It's a smooth sandwich, it's good, and you get a chance to work with Woodward Sports at the same time. Go down to Shake Shack, go downtown as you're at the NFL draft. Get yourself a Chicken Shack sandwich from Shake Shack.
And welcome back, Woodward Sports. That was such a great, I can't stop thinking about that. We need people like Shawn Wilson in this world, somebody that's going to stand up and do the right thing by our kids. More on that throughout the week, but Tom Mazaway, shall we go around the NFL?
We shall, and you know, my guy, Kirk Cousins, not only did he get paid, man, but you know he bought a golf course, by the way? That's a side note. He bought himself a golf course in Atlanta. Congrats to him. But what I wanted to tell you is the Atlanta Falcons might have tampered to get him. We talked about this about a month ago, but the NFL is zeroing in, and they might forfeit a draft pick for tampering with Kirk Cousins when their training staff talked with him supposedly, and that's a no-no.
They're not going to do anything to the Atlanta Falcons because at the end of the day, the Atlanta Falcons, what are they right now? They're a team that hasn't been good the last couple of years. They fired their coach last season. They have a new coach, Raheem Morris. They have a new quarterback that's coming off an Achilles injury, and Kirk Cousins at the age of 37. So, look, I think this is just me. Maybe I'm just speculating, but for franchises like this, like you punish them even more. They're already a franchise that's trying to come up from the underbelly, if you will, had a decent season. Don't take away a draft pick. This is a bit much. If this was insert team, that's at the top of the pinnacle or right there, top 5 team in the league. Okay, if you must. Falcons aren't a team like that. They're trying to get back to prominence. So forget about it.
I hope you're right.
I hope so too.
All right, let's move on. How about the Denver Broncos? Oh, the Denver Broncos.
Oh, speaking of the Broncos,
the Lions uniforms are fire. The Broncos uniforms are going to be gorgeous. Wait till you see what they're coming out with. And Pete, do we have the looks? Look that is 3 different looks. Look at those.
Now these are not being universally liked.
I love them. They're leaked, by the way. Yeah. These are not official yet. These are leaked. Look how good they look.
They look like UTEP.
I think they look great. I love them.
I like this, but this is a throwback.
They're going to do a throwback, and they're going to do 3 different uniforms, like the Lions. I like them.
A lot of people believe those are nasty. I don't have an opinion. I like the throwback.
I think they're great looking.
I see.
They took the stripe off the helmet. They put a different type of stripe on the helmet.
Yeah. Well, look at you, Maz, thinking for yourself.
How about
that? Not worried about what other people think about the Denver Broncos
I don't.
uniform.
And my favorite Broncos uniform are the Orange Crush, the old days, with Bucky the Bronco on the helmet, puffing the smoke out of his mouth. That's my favorite logo, but I do love this one as well.
Broncos do anything else today?
They did. They made a trade for Zach Wilson.
Who?
The former number 1 pick of the Jets, the quarterback. He goes for a late-round pick to the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton might be able to get this kid to work. He gets closer to home. Remember, he went to BYU.
Right.
So Utah, Denver, not too far away. I think it's great for him. I'm happy for him. He's out of New York.
What pick does that?
Late pick, probably 6th or 7th pick.
At the end of the day, man, you want to get a fresh start. If things just weren't good with New York, you saw the whole thing, effing Mike White. And that thing was going on. They didn't like Zach Wilson. They wanted to get him out of there. They cheered when he got injured to get up out of there. And the team didn't like him. They wanted Mike White. You get Aaron Rodgers. The hype is there for him. And Aaron Rodgers gets hurt after the third play of the game. Zach Wilson needs to change the scenery. He had some things go on. So I think he handled the situation pretty well. I think he matured last season. Get him out of there. Get him somewhere where somebody wants him, some fresh air close to home. And maybe he can resurrect his career.
The Jets send Zach Wilson and a 7th-round pick to Denver. The Jets get back a 6th-round pick. So, I mean...
Hey, what are you going to do?
Hey, look, man.
What are you going to do?
Poor guy. Good
He's
for
out
him.
of there.
Good for him. He's getting out of New York.
He's out of
That's
there.
really the crux
I'm happy
of it.
for him.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
I'm sad for myself, though, because one of my youth, another part of my youth has passed on. My youths has passed on. The former NFL MVP of 1969, Roman Gabriel, former quarterback of the LA Rams. Nobody wore the blue and white better than Roman Gabriel. 1st-round pick in 1962 when I was born.
Deacon
Jones and that fearsome foursome of the LA Rams.
Merlin Olsen.
Roman Gabriel, absolutely, was unbelievable. He was a phenomenal quarterback, way ahead of his time. Could have been a Hollywood star as well. That's the good looks. I got to meet his son back in the day, Super Bowl 40. Met his son, Roman Gabriel III. Great guy, great stories about his dad. I got plenty of his football cards. Then he goes and reinvents himself, gets traded to the Eagles, becomes a comeback player of the year in Philadelphia. So one of the NFL greats, could be a Hall of Famer as well. Roman Gabriel passing away.
Hey, Maz,
you guys know much about Roman Gabriel?
Don't know much about Roman Gabriel. Do you know Roman?
Yeah, I know he is. I've seen in some highlights, if you will. Good player. I was going to talk about the comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
It's always good when you see a player had a comeback player of the year. Players go through a lot, be it change of scenery, be it things in themselves which they're trying to change, or maybe it's a bad franchise, bad organization. So when you see that comeback player of the year, I love it because it means resiliency. Resilient person.
Speaking of passing, I was going to mention Howie Schwab died.
I loved Stump the Schwab. Howie Schwab, one of the best personalities of ESPN, let go years ago in one of their mass firings. Never should have been let go. I got to have him on a radio show a few times. Great guy, the most knowledgeable sports fan you ever wanted to meet in your life. And it was a great game show. Our man Stuart Scott used to be the host. I loved that show.
Stump the Schwab.
Yep.
I love this show. In fact, in 2005, at the draft, you go through the week of draft events. One of our events, Ryan Ermanni, we pulled up on the studio. I think Dana Jacobson at the time was the host.
Yes.
University of Michigan, Dana Jacobson.
We love Dana.
She was the host. Stump the Schwab, myself, Alex, Antro Rowe, Cedric Benson, Ronnie Brown. We got a chance to stump the Schwab, and we lost, of course. But
everyone lost.
I got 2 questions right there.
I bet you did.
I represented this great state of Michigan and the Wolverines.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this tweet about Howie, because this is
Rest in peace, by the way.
the best Howie Schwab tweet that I've seen. This is from Doug Gottlieb. Okay, he says my second day at ESPN, fall of 2003. I met Howie Schwab. I was walking into Building 4, and a fairly frumpy man stopped me. Doug Gottlieb, 943 assists, 7th all-time. Played at Notre Dame and Oklahoma State. Lost to Duke in 98, Auburn in 99, and Florida in 2000. Great passer who couldn't shoot. Howie Schwab, nice to meet you.
How great is that?
Great passer.
I love that.
Couldn't shoot.
Howie
fantastic.
Schwab, nice to meet you.
That's awesome.
That's Howie Schwab. Is that great?
Loved him.
Absolutely.
God bless him. God rest his soul.
Hey, Maz, you have coaching responsibilities, so you're going to get out of here.
I do.
I do want to leave you with this. Do you have any can you share anything about the NBA or NHL tonight that you like?
I could. I can go through the scores from last night, first of all.
We'll do that next.
Okay.
I just want to say, do you like anything tonight for
Well,
the people?
let's put up the tonight. See who's playing. We got 4 games on the docket tonight.
3 games tonight.
3 games. There you go.
Yep. There you go.
Why don't you tell me the games since I
You've
can't see them.
got Orlando at Cleveland.
Cleveland's up 1-0.
Yep. Philadelphia at New York.
Knicks up 1-0.
Lakers at Denver.
I had the Lakers the other night because, I told you I'm going to bet them every game. I bet them straight up at plus 270. I almost texted you guys when they were up by about 13 points in the first half.
Yeah.
I didn't. They wind up losing. I'm taking the Lakers tonight. I'm taking the Sixers tonight. And who's Cleveland playing?
Orlando.
I'm taking Orlando tonight.
Do you know that I saw the stat earlier today? I was ESPN.
Yeah.
The Lakers have lost 10 straight games to the Denver Nuggets. They have led by double digits in half of those games.
My God. I still believe the Lakers are going to make a series out of this somehow.
You want to do a little NBA next?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Maz, get out of here. We'll see you
fellas.
tomorrow. All right, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. Oh, well, let's get a message from Maz.
All right, we got the draft party.
Yeah, that's very
Here we
good.
go.
Very
Join
good.
Woodward Sports as we broadcast live this Thursday and Friday, the 2024 NFL Draft, brought to you by Figer Law. It's live from the 313 Draft Party on Woodward Avenue. Live coverage Thursday, 7:30 to midnight. Friday, it's going to be 6:30 to midnight. Brought to you by Figer Law, Glorious, and Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Chili. Join us at the Woodward Sports 313 Draft Party Thursday and Friday.
And don't forget, when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Is about to have their eyes on Detroit, so we figure we show them how Detroit parties. Join us at the 313 Draft Party, presented by Figer Law on Woodward and Adams in Detroit, April 25th and 26th. That's right, we're taking over the city with a live broadcast from the 313 Draft Party, sponsored by Jars, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown, covering the NFL Draft like only Woodward Sports can. Join the entire Woodward family when the first round begins at 8 p.m. This party is 21 plus, free to the public, and opens at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Come watch the live broadcast podcast for rounds 1, 2, and 3 at the best draft party of the D. Ain't no party like a Detroit party, especially when you party with Woodward Sports. Thank you to our sponsors, Sorokas, Glorious, and Feiger Law. All we do is win.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right.
Yeah, I am. We all are. Yeah, and I'm coaching for them. Oh, you are? Yeah. We're in Huntington Beach at the Waterfront RV Park. This is my Quantum Thor motor coach. Kind of inspired by growing up watching the Rockford Files. Got my DVDs, I've been watch that. Nothing will make you feel more like a dad than when you figure out how to dispose of the waste. Felt like a real dad. Now G-Ro, I said this is a Class C here. Greg Roman.
How's it going, everybody?
You want to see G-Ro's?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, come check this. Check this rig out. It's like what the rock bands go around in right here.
I mean, for one person, this beats any hotel room in America. You know what I mean?
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Living the RV life, G-Ro.
Yes, sir.
I asked my brother-in-law, John Fearborn, to drive this coach out, which he did. I'll tell you, some of the nights it was raining, is there a better night's sleep that you could get?
No.
In an RV when it's raining?
With the rain's hitting the top of it? No way.
Just
no.
Put you right to sleep. Your RV, I can speak. This has been a help to winning, to working, and
no question. Winning in football, is there anything like it?
It's cured more ills than penicillin.
There you go.
That is a known scientific fact.
You and I have won some games in California, so it'd be good to keep that tradition going, huh?
Thought that was pretty cool. We've had that for a couple of days, and we never got around to playing it. And I just if that doesn't scream Jim Harbaugh, I'm not sure what does. But that is a pretty cool look at how he's living, right?
He's enjoying himself. I mean, Jim's that kind of guy,
right?
Jim's the quirky guy. And I mean this in the best sense of the word, best sense of the way, and the way in which he is. Just quirky guy. He likes doing things his way. He likes to be dialed into family, to football, and just to different things. So it's him. It's fun. It's just going to be interesting to see this time around. I was there with the 49ers. Wasn't there at the end of it, but I was there in the beginning. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how the last 3 years have been for him in Michigan, the success that he's had with the younger players, connecting like that. He's fun. He's still quirky. You see, he got the tattoo as well. But it's going to be fun to see this time around how it works for him in the NFL, because I think he's going to have. So there it is right there. What do you think about the tattoo?
I don't like the block M. The block M is a skinny M.
Yeah.
It should be a block M. That could be any M. I like the tattoo. I love the idea of getting that tattoo, but you've got to get the maize and blue tattoo.
This is true.
That's a weak M. It's not the right M. Hey, before we get to the NBA, just Michigan spring game over the weekend. Maz beat the blue team 17-7. I don't know what you deduce from that, if anything. I did not watch the game on Saturday, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I've never been one for spring games. Like maybe there was, when the team sucked, you looked for some freshman that finally got to your team that is now playing in the spring game. You're like, oh my God, that's great. This guy's so good. I don't really have an opinion on the spring game. We'll find out about this team against Texas. Big noon kickoff, September 7th. Game is a noon game on Fox. It will be a Maz out.
Ooh, it's gonna be interesting. Like you can never really make a lot about the spring game. Like Brandon Brown, he came on the show. Shout out to Brandon. They don't play it like they used to. Back when I played, it was ones versus ones. You get a couple series to see Braylon Edwards versus Marlon Jackson. You get a chance to see Jake Long versus Lamar Woodley. That's some names right there. All first rounders, if you will. What's up, Lamar? But Lamar Super Bowl champion. You don't get it like that anymore. It's like, hey man, it's ones versus threes or ones versus fours. A couple plays, those guys go out. So you can't really make anything of the spring game. But I will say this: Orji as the quarterback. The mobility was there.
I love him.
Saw 2 nice throws. I saw some confidence level, if you will. So I'm excited to see how this story goes with Orji. Another quarterback that's on the roster was a walk-on quarterback from Fresno State. I want to say that they were excited to see, but he didn't even get a chance to get in the game. But Orji, you're trying to find that offense. We know they lost a lot of players last year. 18 were available for the NFL Combine. Probably of those 18, 12 to 13 will get drafted. But with that said, still good on defense. It's the offenses where you have question marks for this team. And to see a quarterback go out there and kind of look decent, I'm starting to come around, but still got to see a lot more between now and September.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Texas game.
Yeah, we'll find out more about Michigan. NBA, all 8 home teams won game 1. 7 of the 8 home teams covered the spread. Are we getting into an area where this first round of the playoffs is going to be anything but just a
slam dunk?
Yeah.
Pun intended. It seems that way. It seems like the teams that are coming off the road, they don't have that type of edge playing at home or playing on the road. Interesting enough, Ryan and Mike, before I get to that, kind of something that was in my mind. We talk about the different levels of the basketball. We talk about the different levels of the playoffs. You see the teams that win, they don't necessarily look good at the end of the season. They're foregoing the last 4 games, or they're not really winning in the last 10 games. You look at, they may win 4, they may lose 6, whatever the position is right for them. These teams that win late, like you looked at the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns were pretty strong towards the end of the season. You look at the New York Knicks. Pretty strong towards the, or the was it the Sixers? Anyway, a couple of teams that have been strong towards the finish. Those teams have gotten blown out in the playoffs once the playoffs started. It seems like these teams are upping their level, whether it's Anthony Edwards in Minnesota beating up on KD and the Suns, or whether it was, a couple other teams.
The one series that surprised me, the one game that surprised me in a positive way was Milwaukee. I don't know what's going to happen in game 2 tomorrow night. But Milwaukee over the weekend with Dame went playoff Dame, 35 points in the first half. And he is just, I did not think they could get by Indiana without Giannis.
Yeah.
I now believe they can get by Indiana without Giannis. Sometimes these teams are so young, and we ran into it with Orlando in game 1. They're a young team. Indiana is a young team experiencing the playoffs for the first time. Those teams are going to have a hard time. The OKC, they're a young team too, but they're just so talented. And they struggled last night, I thought, against New Orleans for the most part. That wasn't a gimme by any. That series might be a little bit of a series, actually, because of the youth and inexperience of OKC. But I'll tell you, the team that's really got to turn it on is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, if you I think the Knicks are going to win. I want the Knicks to win, but Philadelphia is a team to me that people talk about They talk more about Philadelphia than any other team that hasn't done diddly poo.
Yeah, they talk. Every year it's trust the process. Every year Philly, you're thinking about Joel Embiid, best player in the NBA skill-wise from time to time, MVP last year. You're talking about the arrival of Tyrese Maxey. It's always some excuse, whether it's James Harden. Now he's back with his boy, Daryl Morey. There's always something to get excited about Philadelphia. And when we get to the playoffs, they just seem to let you down every year. It doesn't matter. But you talk about that Bucks game. It was fun to watch Dame Lillard do his thing. You saw Tyrese Halliburton early in the game kind of talking some stuff. And it came back to haunt Tyrese Halliburton. Dame went hot from deep three, which he usually does. And he said something at the press conference too, Ryan. He said, hey, look, these young guys, man, they get to talking early. He said, but sometimes you got to be humble. You got to see what happens. And Dame definitely humbled him with Dame time. So we talked about it, though, too. The East, maybe it heats up. Maybe it becomes a playoff series that you want to watch it, too. You got two because the Knicks, Sixers could be really good. And I think the Bucks in Indianapolis, I think Halliburton will respond. So the East surprising us so far.
Boston clearly going to win the East, in my opinion. Denver looks like it's going to be a cakewalk in the West. I feel bad for the Lakers in this respect. I think they're the second best team in the West.
Yeah.
And they're going to get swept or lose in 5 games to Denver. And that's how much better Denver is than everybody else. Because the Lakers, to me, again, are the second best team in the Western Conference, and they might win 1 game. That's how good Denver is.
Denver's an amazing team, and whether it's Michael Porter Jr. that can get you 10 and 25, Aaron Gordon who can get you 9 rebounds, also get you 15 points. You see Casey Caldwell-Pope. He's playing defense as well as hitting corner threes. He has that experience now. He won one with the Lakers, and then he won one last year with the Nuggets. And then obviously, you got the 2 studs for them, and that'll be Jamal Murray at the point, and then Jokic at the big man, playing every position. Another triple-double out of him. So it's just tough to beat them.
Yeah.
Like Ryan and mine, they operate on all cylinders. And they got guys that were stars. I think that's where their team is strong. You look at Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a first-round pick, lottery pick that was supposed to be a star with the Orlando Magic. You look at Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. was a star player, was supposed to be when he got drafted. So you're looking at guys that may be operating in the 3 space or the 4 space, but when they were originally drafted and brought into the NBA, they were looked at as a potential number 1, a player, a star, a guy that you build a franchise around. So they got 4 guys on their team that are number 1 at some point in their career, and I think they gel really well.
No doubt about it. NHL as well. NHL playoffs are going on. It really sucked with the Wings not in it. There was something where I will start paying attention a little bit. I find myself more geared towards the NBA than the NHL. I just enjoy the games a little bit more in the NBA right now. Maybe there's something about this NHL schedule has been terrible. I don't know why the NHL schedule's the way. 2 games on Saturday. You need to come out with 4 on Saturday. You need to come out with 4 on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, they did come out with 4 on Sunday, but
you're competing with basketball.
Right. I mean, you're playing 2 games tonight that are game 1. I mean, dumb. I don't know.
You should be playing 4.
Huh?
You should play 4 games tonight. Is that what you want to be locked in now?
Yeah, I need 4 games. I need 4 games to switch back and forth and see but you got a game starting at 9:30 and game starting at 10. You know what time I'm going to bed?
9.
I
know you. Also, too,
that's why I like baseball. Baseball. I'll tell you, for a guy like me, moving that game up 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, 30 minutes really, because it started 7:10, even though it said 7:10. To move that game up to 6:40 makes such a huge difference in my life.
Yeah.
Like the Tigers in Tampa tonight. I'll watch that game, and I'll probably watch most of it, if not all of it.
Give you a chance to watch the game, be involved.
Yeah.
Still feel like you got some good sleep.
No doubt.
Like start at a good time. I mean, hey, look. But NHL's been doing it wrong for a very long time. So, I mean, this is same conversation we have every year because you're talking about a playoff series. And each NHL series, they're always great. They always seem to go the distance. They always seem to have some level of some plot, some twist, something funny, but or something great. You just don't have the time.
Speaking of the NHL, Steve Yzerman did speak over the weekend. Here's what Steve had to say about his team and the staff.
It was a roller coaster of a year as far as wins and losses. We were humming along, and then we couldn't win a game, and it was just, and we're trying to figure it out. So there's a lot of good things. The way our team I think we competed hard. I thought there was a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot of determination amongst the players. Obviously, we weren't perfect. But the most important thing is I feel from my vantage point, is that our players are motivated, our players are determined, our players, there's a good atmosphere within the locker room. And part of that is the coaching staff helps foster that or create that. So overall, I'm happy with the direction we're going, the coaching that we have. Ultimately, I'll go back to it. We got to become a better defensive hockey team, and it's the fundamentals of defending. And I'm counting on our coaching staff to work with our players and our players to be determined to do that. And it's not necessarily the system; it's the basic fundamentals of defending that at times this year we struggled with, and we need to address it again. Because you look at the teams in the playoffs; the majority of them, they're in the top half in goals against and shots against. And there's a couple I was looking at it earlier. There's a couple that made the playoffs in there, but they can offset it with high octane offense.
And so we'll see where the Red Wings go this year. Good year, disappointing in many ways, but at the same time, Bray, good couple of games at the end there. You want to get us out of here?
Definitely get us out of here. With the Red Wings, you just hate that it had to get to that point, man. They were really in a situation where they controlled their own destiny a couple times. But like you said, they finished strong. I mean, I guess there's something you can bank your hat on. But here we go. Another year of the Yzer plan, figuring that thing out. But trust in the cap. Stevie Y, number 19, has never let us down. So why would he start now? So I trust in him. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Look, it's going to be a heck of a week. Detroit Lions on the clock 3 days from now. And the city of Detroit is on the clock 3 days from now. The Detroit draft will be, the NFL draft will be downtown Detroit. We're excited. I know you are, so we'll give you more updates, more last-second mock things, more moves, more things that they're going to try to get us to believe that is on the table for the draft. This is your place to get that information. It's Woodward Sports, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Peace, Spyback. We appreciate you, as well as my man Silent Mike. Is everybody out there? We appreciate you. See you later. Bye.